Hello everyone, and welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to get the Queen Machine in the achievement. The achievement. So basically, the first thing you have to do is, of course, make a Zenith Seed. You know it's the right one if, as I shall go back, if it has this glitchy feature to it, and you don't know how to get to that, well, you go here, and click this. But of course, we already have a world prepared for us, so I shall go to that one. Then all you have to do is, well, either use a fully completed character, or let's start a new world and play the seed all the way up into hard mode. Which means, yes, you're killing the wall of flesh and all the other jazz. Then from there, you got prepare for everything else. For this, and with that, of course, and for that, well, simple. First, you have to go create the thing, which will require. I have everything else set up for later, but it will require 9 souls of light, 9 souls of dark, 3 lenses. Your choice between rotten chunk or rollerblade. Let's remind you, the ZFC has both corruption and crimson. There's actually the crimson aisle. And hard mode section will just turn into hard mode. And yeah, it can't. You'll see your world may vary, but one side will be corruption, the other side will be crimson. Yada yada. So from there, you either go to one side or the other to collect your 6 rotten chunks or water weights. Then you collect 30 bones from the dungeon, 15 iron bars, and then again, DFC will. When you break the altars, both would spawn in because of drunk world. Well, so let's pick one of the angles, and then just go out to create all pieces, like so. Then once you have all 3 normal spawners, you can't use it in the Zenith Seed. So there's that. To create the Oakram's Razor. Now, I could just use a pre-built class like I have here to do it, but I'm not going to, because that would not be a good enough showcasing of how to get the achievement, because it would be better to just do it legitimately. Now that you probably won't have that many. I mean, you would have quite a few, but you won't have that many. Roughly around like 60, maybe 100 to be good enough. You can get it from fighting like the green slimes or just grinding pixies out in your hallowed to do so. Along the way, get on this off to make it look more like a physical character. Here's like roughly around the set I want you use with, well, all of 8 weapons. The best one I found for fighting this boss is the dart pistol, because rapid fire powers compared to the dart rifle, along with of course flame darts, because that pierces and leaves a slinging flame thing that can really help annihilate the destroyer. Along the way, I recommend getting the Terraria fruit, or or if you want to expend the resources, get yourself a water walking and obsidian skin if you want to go use this setup specifically. For this setup, uses the use of effectively what would be remnants of your would probably be your own wall of flesh arena, along with like a teleportal chain here that goes to here. I'd also recommend you actually having buff stations around, like campfires and stuff. In this case, I use campfire, but also recommend the salt statues and heart lanterns if you have any. Well, you'll get a lot of heart lanterns, but you also can get the salt statues. And there's also First I probably just deal with this. Yeah. Of course, then you can get all of the frost wings and the frost leggings from your tundra, because the blizzard will happen underground. Then all you have to do is kill a few frost giants to get the frost golems to get both these and the frozen puzzle to make the wings. Of course, you'd get the emblem from the Wall of Flesh. And don't worry, if you get the wrong emblem, you can always use the symbol. Which, by the way, in the ZFC, there'll be a lot more symbol around, so you just have to find the rough location of the symbol itself, because, well, as you see, there'll be puddles of it outside of the real domain. No? You can get... Using both the Brain of Confusion and Worm Scarf is advised for dodging chances, and the Arc Shield is a lot more trickier, but if you have a challenge with it, always remember that things like the Reflective Mirror, as I'll show you, from getting the blindfold out, because it's all connected. If you take a blindfold and go to the symbol, like, yeah, as you see, it's like all of its like hell and stuff. You can go throw it in, and you need a big old portion of symbol. Luckily, there's a big old portion of symbol over here. I probably should have not really take out my pickaxe again. For demonstration purposes only. But yeah, it's like you can mine through. You can then throw the blindfold deal to get the pocket mule. And note, getting the pocket mule is fairly simple because the blindfold can be gotten from the mummies, which will spawn in both beach sections, because this will be considered an evil desert, and thus enough mummies can spawn up there. So that can be how that's like really the noteworthy one. You can get the vitamins from the Geist of the Crimson. Let me go to the... Let me go back to the guide to help showcase everything battle. So basically with that, yeah. The Nazio... Peanuts, if you want to know what can be shifted into what again... Actually, I don't know what I'm doing here. I can just go back over here and just like... Mildly scuffed video. Set up. Anyway. So all you have to do is... I have it here. Why can't I spell it? Okay. So, of course, first you need a obsidian shield and cobalt shield. Cobalt shield can be gotten from the dungeon, and the obsidian skull is made from collecting like 15 or so obsidian. To get the Ankh charm, you first gotta craft it from its component parts, which is all of these, which, fun fact, is created by other pieces. I forgot to actually get the reflective shades. The reflective shades are made from the blindfold and the reflective sword. But fun fact, as with all of these, if you ever struggle collecting one bit of it, you can go look at what other component is made, that the item person is made from, to switch out. So for example, the armor polish will always convert into the vitamins, and the vitamins will mostly convert into the armor powers. Now you can either get the armor powers from the dungeon or the vitamins from the gauge, as I said. The Nazio and yeah, the Nazio and Micron, I believe. This should have gone in order. Yeah, Micron. Gotten from either from the dungeon or from Pixies, or like the two best ones to get there. You're most likely going to get the Nazio from the dungeon over the Pixies, because that's a pretty hard no drop. But it also means that, by the way, yes, you technically can get the Onxio before hard mode. The fast clock and the strike suit. I believe the fast clock can be gotten from... Alright then. Right. So, right, the fast clock, and it gives you a probably gonna be the hardest ones, because the best drops are from Pixies. So you don't want to do, which means you can get that from here, but you can also get the fast clock from Waves as well, as your second best option. But you know will happen when you're breaking the altars, so that's good. Also a reminder that that this is the ZFC, which means you can get hungry and things, means for corporations prepare to get food. There is a good food anyway, so I'll recommend it, but I'll just remind you of that. And the trifle clock can be gotten from from regular mummies, and I think one can be gotten from light mummies, the other one can be gotten from fast mummies, from regular mummies. But due to the fact that the soffit will be corrupted, the mummy option is the least useful one, so yeah, your best option would just be Pixies or Waves. I recommend Waves because you can actually spawn them by force, and thus allowing you to just cut the fast clocks easier. Then you can retransmit the fast clock into the tripod map. The Zeo is definitely the easiest, since all you have to do is go to the jungle, and which I believe in this world is then, well, is effectively the top part of the map, because all beehives, the single here, count as jungle, which means bees, wasps will spawn there. Just kill a few wasps, then you can get the Brazil, then you can run the Brazils into the bandits, and then craft them all up to get yourself an arc shield. The Charms of Myth can be gotten from specifically, mimics actually, because I believe this seed has 3 hard mode mimics in it. I mean, you can also just get the... I mean, if you... I was gonna make sure I test this out before I say something stupid. I believe you can convert the Fan of Legion? No, I lied. Yeah, both does not do that. Okay, right. So, yeah, never mind. Scratch that. You have to get the Fan of Legion from chests, or like... If Mimic spawn in pre-hard mode, then you could maybe get one from pre-hard mode Mimic, although that could just be a skyblock thing only seed, so... You can also spit for it, which is something I do recommend doing a lot of this seed for Battle Force. And then from there, the hard mode Mimic swap the... Let's get going to the thing to sell off this crap with me. Then from there, you can get the Philosopher's Stone from hard mode Mimics. And that should about cover it for all the accessories. Of course, you can get both of these in this world because both the Saddle Orbs and the Heart Orb things from the Crimson spawn here. Does mean that you can summon bosses along with the fires. Either way. And of course the Dark Pistol is gotten from Crimson Mimic specifically. It's fun fact. The Crimson... the type of mimic you spawn here is dependent on day. As in, one day it'll be all Corruption mimics, the next day it'll be all Crimson mimics, and then repeat the cycle. So let's wait for a Crimson mimic day and then farm for the Dark Pistol. And of course flames can be gotten from the underground. And Corruption, what's be like roughly around here. You might be able to get it from up top, but GF is a bit janky in how it contains the sky of the world. As in, sometimes it's the actual sky, at times it's the actual surface, at times it's just not considered the actual surface. So best bet is to do everything underground. Now for items. Here is everything I recommend. First, getting a Vitality Crystal. This is gotten from dropping a Heart Crystal into the Shimmer. There's another item that I recommend getting, which I will not be using for this showcase because my health, and that is the Life Force Potion. Created using this recipe I should appear on screen right now. It requires you to go fishing into the Hallowed as well, so do be careful. You probably have a few break parts around here, so you should be fine. There's also the Wrath Potion, which is gotten from the Corruption. Well, you also need to go fishing for the Ebony Core. And since you'll be fishing on the ground, you should be getting some armored crawfish to get endurance potions, which will come in handy. I do recommend getting some Heartbeat potions as well, but along the way you'll probably get enough materials to get Rage potions as well, since both of them come from the Crimson as well, basically. Now this is more of a me thing. Because the Blaze Staff will probably be like your best summon a normal player can get. If you're an advanced player, well, first of all, why are you here? And second of all, then you could probably just fight Duke Fishwan, because these still count as OSINs for that. So you can just fight Duke Fishwan and get all that, but if you're not, then the Blade Staff will probably be one of your better options here. Either that or Abigail. Although that one's a bit more iffy. Spiders! I recommend, not for this strategy, but if you wanted to, like, the Spider Sentry Staff would be very useful, but not for this current moment. I also recommend getting yourself a few buffing stations. Like, you can get the mana. You get the Crystal Ball, which helps with mana regeneration from the Wizard. The armor, the ammo box, it is gotten from the arms dealer. The arms dealer will sell the arms dealer isn't on this map because this is like a showcase map. But yeah, the arms dealer sells the ammo boxes, which makes it even easier. This will help control ammo, which for this demonstration, but it's rather easy to get core starts since the others create from like one. I can probably go use the guide here for that. But appearance for this Sparkle showcase, like appearance you can get the here this guy will be here to help me with that. I think, yeah, it's 1 course flame for 100 dots. Like, you can get ammo very quickly. If you just want to be conservative with it, I recommend getting the ammo box and the next item on our list, the ammo reservation potion, which helps conserve 20% ammo compared to the 20% ammo, which means it's 40% ammo conservation overall. This will help a bit. So, yeah, it's cotton from the jungle, much like the that's like the seminal fist for the selling person. I can't remember off the top of my head. And of course, always the recommendation of the baseline, regeneration, iron skin, and swiftness potions. And of course, with all that fishing, you'll have enough to make yourself a seafood dinner. Well, there are definitely better buffs overall. We are not here to showcase every little thing, just most little things. So yeah, I see this will help with the offset and the dots. It not only help just 2 things, but also like, well, make it so that you have more. It also gives both the Frostborn and Course Flame debuffs. This is useful for, well, the Twins and Skeleton Primal. The Piercing is more to deal with the Destroyer, because the Destroyer is immune to all stat effects. You see, I'm starving right now, because I'm not eating food. This is why you need food in this world. In fact, I changed most things to warding, except for the charm and the brain. And saying else I probably should bring up Benson. If you're playing in some recommendations is actually the roller skate, since they move faster than the, well, the Terraspark boots, and that's due to coast, so you can focus on slightly less things than you would normally have to. There's also the Blessed Apple gotten from the unicorns, which means you have to make a farm for that, in one in particular. But yeah, besides that, if you're in Master mode, aka Legendary mode in this case, you can get the goat skull from from the Wall of Plus, which is the one I'll be using for this battle. Another thing about the strategy, with using the teleporters, you can actually despawn some of the bosses in Medusa. And here you see that the only one left remaining after a time is Destroyer. You see as it despawns right, the other 2 despawns right there, the Skeleton Prime and the Twins, leaving solely Destroyer on its own. So if you're having trouble fighting all the bosses at once, for one reason or another, you can do this. Do note, however, this would set them back to their legendary mode AI design, to be skeletons, hand cannon, cannon blow, blocks once more, and some of the other things. So do keep that in mind, because while they're Medusa, you don't have those vehicles. You only have it when they're back to the stellar bosses. So yeah, of course, I died here because I wanted to keep fighting it more properly, although you still see a boss despawning in the attempt that you see right here. well, I mean, that works. I see, you even get Waffle Island. Even if you, despawn the boss. Kind of mildly anticlimactic, but you see, we would have succeeded. Still mildly annoyed that what result that patriotism just kind of despawned like that, but alright then. So with that, thank you all so much for watching. See you next time for our update. See you around. Bye bye. Yeah, there's definitely a better way of doing that, but at the same time, oh, then again, just using the goat mount for that battle, if you're in like master mode, is basically all you need really. That or the unicorn. The unicorn would probably be better because it would stop despawning. But hey, you take these some days. And how do we sound like the strategy itself is actually fairly strong at despawning bosses, which might be something you're looking for if you want to get hallowed weaponry and heal without having to fight all of Medusa. So yeah. Alright then. Goodbye. Oh yeah, here's what the accessories were when I used them and the prefixes. Okay then. Now, that should be all. Thank you all so much for watching. Till next time for what I feel like doing next. I hope to see you around. Bye bye.